we doing on this phenomenal, fantastic day? Luis Gonzalez, Peak Performance Coach, coming at you. Today we're going to be talking about how your word is law. Your word is golden, especially if you make a promise to yourself, especially if you set a goal that speaks about your life and where you want to go. This is law. Your word is law. Your word is golden. And let's keep the conversation going on the other side. Hello, my beautiful people. Happy, fantastic day. It is sunny, which is always a great day. So today I want to talk about how your word is law. If you keep a promise to yourself, especially to yourself, it's so often that we see that, if our boss tells us to do something, if our wife, our husband, our kids, our friend, our mom, our dad, you name it, we are so much more careful with keeping our promises and treating our word as the sacred thing that it is. But so often when it comes to our goals, to our dreams, our desires, our promises to ourselves, something happens where it's easier to break a promise to ourselves than it is to break a promise to somebody else. And I really want to encourage you guys to not have that be the case. For you to live an incredible life, it's going to be absolutely vital that if you say you're going to do something, and this is also for the business world, right? I'm a business coach, I'm a business person, and if I say I'm going to do something, especially as a peak performance coach, I absolutely hold myself to the highest standards, and you should too, especially when it comes to giving your word. So this morning I woke up and I totally did not sleep as long as I wish I would have. And I went to the bathroom and I had these dark circles under my eyes, and I was just like, ugh, am I really gonna work out? And I thought, yes, I am. I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to, put on the workout clothes and get outside. And last night when I was working till about 11 p.m., I didn't necessarily want to finish the things that I said I was going to finish. But that's the thing, guys. I think, I get a little bit frustrated sometimes. Just putting something down. I get a little bit frustrated because it feels like we just want easy, right? We want a magic pill that's gonna make us skinny. We want to eat all of the donuts in the world and not feel like crap. And that's not how it works. Especially at the beginning of the year, the new year is coming up, and at the beginning of the year, everybody sets these big goals and everybody's excited and everyone's like, I'm gonna do these things. And then after a few days, a few weeks, it's not as sexy. Guys, peak performance isn't sexy. You reaching your goals, it's not sexy. It is commitment. It is showing up for yourself day after day. It's not feeling like you want to show up. It's not feeling like you have the energy. And it's reminding yourself that no, I gave my word. My word is law, especially to myself. If I say I'm going to do something, people know. If I say I'm going to do, I don't need people to know. If I say I'm going to do something, it freaking gets done, right? My word is, if there's something that I'm just so careful about and that I take so seriously, and you guys know I'm silly and I don't think everything should be taken seriously, but if there is one thing I do take seriously, it's my word. If I say I'm going to do something, if I say I'm going to hold myself to a certain standard, you better know that I'm going to deliver. And it might take me a few weeks, it might take me a few months, it might take me years, but you better know I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up on myself. I'm not gonna give up on my goals. I'm not gonna give up on my clients. If I say I'm gonna do something, it freaking gets done, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, right, we're in the peak performance world, sometimes you set a goal and it doesn't, and you're clear as to the goal. We so often think that the trajectory to an outcome looks like this. It doesn't. It looks like this, right? We go backwards, we go forwards, we go up, we go down, and And we have this very clear idea of how it's supposed to, I'm gonna get to my goal by doing this very specific thing and it's gonna be perfect, and no, probably not. But as long as you stay in there, there's that image, and you guys have probably seen it, of the guy who's like digging for his diamonds or gold. And he's just like a few centimeters away and then he gave up. So I'm wondering, in what places of your life have you given up? In what places of your life have you not kept to your word being gold, to your word? If you say you're gonna do something, especially to yourself, like my part of my message here is we are so quick to keep our promises to other people, to the rest of the world, when this is your life. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't care about other people. You should absolutely love on the people and respect what you say that you are gonna do in regards to other people. But too often, when it comes to your own goals, your own desires, your own dreams, your own happiness, it's so easy to just be like, whatever, like it can get done tomorrow. No, there is no tomorrow. There is right now. Today is precious, and it's not going to be sexy. And so my challenge to you, my coaching to you is, if you said you're gonna do something, do it. I don't care if it takes you longer, as long as you're making progress, as long as you go to sleep at night and you're giving it your all. Now, if you're going to sleep and you've got more to give, you were not as resourceful, as creative as you could have been, then yes, I'm gonna say, take the time, give yourself the time to think about, okay, what does it take for me to do the things that I need to do to bring in the creativity, the resourcefulness for me to reach this goal. And I want you on a daily basis to feel like I really gave it my all. And there's something so just like precious and beautiful about that, about being able to see the person that's staring back at you in the mirror and just, feeling like, yeah, I'm really proud of you. I'm fucking proud of you. And you're talking to yourself like, there's just something so peaceful about knowing I'm giving this my all. This one precious life that we get. Why wouldn't you give it your all? Why wouldn't you explore all of the gifts that were put inside of you? And I know that you have dreams. I know that you have goals. And to what extent have you let those dreams just go forgotten or ignored? And in the back of your mind, you're like, well, I know this is the thing that I really want to do. I know that this is the thing that's actually really important to me. And I do this with my clients, and they'll tell me, well, I was just living it really safe, and there was something that was really important to me, and all of a sudden they're doing the thing. I'm not saying they quit their job and they're all of a sudden just doing the thing. No, I'm not saying that, but they're taking small steps to live a life that makes them really fucking proud of how they're showing up to themselves. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship that you have of all of them is the relationship you have with yourself. This is something that my dad taught me, and and it's just really stuck with me. He said, when I go to sleep at night and my head hits the pillow, I go to sleep with a clear conscience. I go to sleep knowing that I've lived my life on my own terms. And so, having as a little kid, like hearing those sorts of things, I've made that an important part of how I live my life, right? It's, guys, I am not gonna sugarcoat things. That's not what I'm here for. And I think so often we see, coaches, or we see people who are succeeding right now. I wish I had it in print. I'm reading this book that's called Shoe Dog. So this is a memoir by the guy who created Nike. And as I've been reading this book, it's been such a journey for me, right? Because I've been running a couple of businesses for some time now, and the reality is that it's fucking hard. It's been one of the hardest things and one of the most rewarding things I could ever have done in my life, that I've ever done in my life. It makes me both wake up in the morning, like potentially you have a choice, right? You can choose to be like, holy, 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 holy shit, oh my God, there's like so much to do, or you can be like, I get to live this life, right? Like I get to build businesses that are making a difference. I get to work with incredible people. And so in his journey, he just talks about how like Nike doesn't even come up about until 10 years into the journey, 10 years into the making. We talk about these overnight successes. Bullshit, that doesn't exist. Overnight successes don't exist. These are people that have been grinding, that have been waking up early in the morning, that have been doing the thing even though they didn't feel like it. Newsflash, as a business owner, as a peak performer, you're not gonna feel like it, and it's your job as a leader, it's your job as a boss, it's your job as a manager, it's your job as a mom, as a dad, it's your job, in whatever leading capacity you're showing up as, it's your job to do things even when you don't feel like it. And I'm sorry that feels a little uncomfortable, but as your peak performance coach, it's my job to say, don't feel like it, show up anyways, do it anyways, and then at the end of the day, you're gonna feel so glad you did, because you kept a promise to yourself. But when you break promise after promise after promise after promise to yourself, you stop believing in yourself. You stop believing that you're going to do what you say that you're gonna do, especially when it concerns you. So my challenge, and that sounds a little bit harsh, but I think in these days, we grew, I did gymnastics for 16 years and I had these like super hard coaches, right? We had super tough Russian coaches that were like, no crying in the gym, like you fell off the beam, get back up, 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 get back up. If it took 100 tries, you did it 100 times until you got it right. And so I think that, at least in my style of coaching and my belief, having high standards, going after what it is that you want means, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit in your face and I'm gonna say, step up. I'm gonna say, yeah, work a little bit harder. I'm gonna say, you don't feel like doing it? Do it. And at the end of the day, when you go to sleep that night, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you're gonna be so proud of the person that's showing up for yourself, because you stopped breaking promises to yourself. You said, this is important. And I'm not just saying, do it because it's like your boss said so, or do it because society told you, or do it because your parents told you. No, what I'm saying is find something that really matters to you. Find the person that you want to become in 3 to 5 to 10 years. Find mentors who exemplify that way of living, that way of being. Learn all you can about them. That's why I read book after book. You guys, actually, I'm gonna show you. I'm not joking when I talk about like my obsession reading books. So this is just one stack of books that I'm going over. Literally, I have stacks, I have mountains of books around my apartment because I'm putting together these really cool courses that I'm really excited about. But, I find people who are achieving the results that I want for my life, who are living in joyful, beautiful ways, who are doing it all, right? Like, I want to be an incredible mom, and I want to be one of the best CEOs in the fucking world. I want to like be able to use my life to bring incredible impact to this world, and do it, from the heart, do it from a place where I really care. And so what I'm saying is find something that fires you up, find something that you really care about. And, from my flavor of coaching, I'm gonna say, for you to get so fired up, I believe it needs to be about something bigger than yourself. It can't just be about, well, I just really want to buy a Maserati. It's just, I'm after the Tesla. I'm not saying don't get the Tesla. I'm not saying don't get your Ferrari, your Maserati. Get it, and I'll be the first person to celebrate with you. I'll be like, yes, you did it. But I think that to really be excited and to really care about your dream, it needs to be about something that's bigger than yourself. It needs to be, so for me, it's, like buying my parents their home. For me, it's, my financial wealth. It's going to mean that I'm able to open up, and I want you guys to hold me to this, because this, this is why I do what I do. This is why I work so hard. For me, it's the ability to, to fund and open schools, orphanages, hospitals, to fund just critical scientific research, to fund scholarships and fellowships for people that come from my background, right? I don't come from very much. And I had a scholarship, and that scholarship has been discontinued since then. And so one of my goals is, with the money that I make, I will provide the money to allow and to provide opportunity for these thousands of other kids that were like me, and have this impact on an international scale, right? So this fires me up. This gets me working late into the night, early in the morning, working out, keeping the promises to myself because I care, right? And I'm also thinking of the example that I'm going to be setting for my kids. I can't wait to be a mom. And when I am, I want my kids to look up to me and be like, Mommy did it her way. Mom showed up. She had dreams and she gave it her all. And I am so proud of myself. And I hope that you live your life in a way that you can show up and be like, I'm fucking proud of myself. I'm giving this thing my all. And so again, the point of this message is your word needs to be law. Your commitments to yourself need to be sacred. And I want you to know from my experience, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be ugly. It's going to be frustrating. It's gonna be all of these things. And you have to show up even when you don't wanna show up. And from the Tony Robbins event that I just went to, there was a quick little tool here for you guys. It reminded me of the 90-second rule. So sometimes, we all have our favorite flavor of suffering, right? Suffering is any state when you aren't feeling amazing about your life, when you are, the opposite of gratitude, joy, resourcefulness, power, energy. The opposite of that is suffering, whether it's overwhelm, stress, and we all have our favorite flavor of suffering. And so you want to look at your top 2 favorite flavors of suffering. So for me, it's stress and overwhelm. And so Tony Robbins reminded us that we have the 90-second rule. You have 90 seconds to change your state around. And so for me, one of the things that's really powerful, it's music and it's movement, right? Moving my body. That's why it's so important for me to just work out every single day. And so it was a nice reminder to be like, you have 30 seconds, so you will not be in overwhelm, you will not be in stress. And so now I give myself 90 seconds, so I dance it out. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed, give yourself the 90-second rule and change back into a positive state. Keep the commitments to yourself. No, it's not gonna be easy. No, it's gonna be a grind. No, it's gonna be, but even while it's a grind, I just hope that you find the preciousness and the beauty and the sacredness in the hard, right? We just treasure and we appreciate the things we've had to work with even more. And so, is it gonna be easy? No. Would you really want it to be easy? You'll be bored out of your mind, so probably not. So as you're going through it, and again, I am not gonna sugarcoat things here because I just don't think that's the game. It's hard. It's hard, guys. It's hard for me. There's been times where I'm crying and I'm like, oh, am I gonna make it? But you have to change your state, 90 seconds, and you have to keep showing up. While it's not sexy, while it's cold outside, while it feels hard, change your state and keep your commitment to yourself. Keep your word to yourself, and then you'll be amazed what you're able to achieve. Find something that really matters to you. Set some really scary goals for yourself and continue showing up for yourself day after day. So, Luz Gonzalez here with you. It's always such a pleasure to be here with you guys. Remember to subscribe to my channel. I am on Facebook. You can look for Luz C. Gonzalez. I have my groups there. I am on Instagram. Where else am I? On LinkedIn, you can find me. I do one-on-one coaching. So if you're looking for a coach, a results coach, a business coach, someone's gonna push you harder than you've been pushed in years, and they're gonna hold you accountable. Let's talk. And also our mastermind, which is a peak performance mastermind, which is a more affordable way to work with me, still has a few spots open. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please apply ASAP today. We're looking for A players. We're looking for people who are going hard, who want to go, do amazing things in their life. And it would be such a privilege for me to be your #1 cheerleader, to help you hold yourself accountable to yourself. And I will catch you guys next week. Mwah!